Be ready. Start. Indian judicial reform program has been much the same. We have shouted from the rooftops that the population judge ratio is abysmal. That was improved to an extent. The increase in manpower brought no commensurate change in the case disposal ratio. We decried that the judicial officers get too little remuneration for too much work. Their conditions of service have improved to a limited point. Their workload has far outweighed the ripple effect without any perceptible dent. We earnestly desired that the judiciary keep pace with the latest technology, which was claimed to be the answer to its ills in speeding up its work as it did in other areas of business. The court computerization program is well underway. The initiative has unfortunately not brought out a sea change in the judicial functioning. Since the time of the Industrial Revolution, all industries, trades, businesses, commerce, and later even trusts, charities, educational institutions, and even events came under the spell of management. The art of managing affairs, people, countries, and space grew into a science. The waves of management somehow failed to touch the shores of the courts. This was much the same in all countries due to the intoxicating progress of science and technology. Much later in history, did the drivers of justice systems in many countries realize they had failed to keep pace with the world around them, even though laws as evolving instruments of social change had changed. Significant changes came about since the last half a century in the United States and since the last decade in the United Kingdom. Two of the justice systems we have emulated and embraced since our Constitution. The thrust of the change in the justice systems in the West is largely a product of court and case management. Case management is, in essence, the court taking over management of the case. It conceptualizes the judges being managerial, managing their affairs with improved efficiency so as to speed up the final adjudication in managing the litigation process by innovation and adaptation to hallmarks of good business practices. These judges are therefore interventionists, being in the driving seat as case managers first and case deciders afterwards. They essentially limit the time taken for each step of the litigation, definite issues, limited discovery, evidence, and arguments, setting deadlines for each of these steps. Case management shows how best to go through each of the stages of litigation without delay. Business management principles can help explain which of these steps can be combined with others or altogether eliminated. A little research into our dockets would show that all but the most exceptional civil actions would qualify to be in the fast track bracket. These would involve a key issue to be determined, usually by documentary evidence, monetary claims, suit against government or local bodies for injunctions, suits between landlords and tenants, suits to follow due legal process are some illustrations on the point. The hearing of a case commences with the Rule 16 conference, also known as a scheduling conference or status conference. The Rule 16 conference, a dress rehearsal for trial, is essentially for scheduling dates after the jurisdiction of the court is established. On the scheduled date, The pivotal issue are identified. A shot at settlement is taken, and a decision on whether the case can be disposed of on motion or by trial is determined. Only if a trial is necessitated are orders for discovery made, and the final pre-trial conference scheduled for previewing the evidence and for considering the limits on the length of trial. Despite various critics, the rule heralded the era of case management since 1938. Its amendment, by which Rule 16F was incorporated, lays down sanctions for failure to obey the scheduling or pretrial order and grants expenses for non compliance. Judges who think they are too busy to manage cases are really too busy not to. Indeed, the busiest judges with the heaviest dockets are the ones most in need of sound case management practices. The previously documented principles and procedures followed in courts cannot be picked verbatim and applied in the Indian scenario. These must be adapted and calibrated to suit the ground realities of our country. Think globally, act locally, streamlining procedures which enable the judge to frame the issues are rarely effectuated. Likewise, sanction power to impose costs for frivolous conduct is seldom exercised. Interim injunctive relief is routinely granted, but long delays in hearing the contentions of those enjoined persist. Commonly made interlocutory appeals fracture the case into many parts and effectively stay the trial. The absence of alternatives to litigation makes a full, discontinuous trial necessary, regardless of how long a full trial may take. Thank you.